Grammys 2019 nominations are in. It is that time of year, once again, where we all moan and pretend that we hate the Grammys because they're always wrong and we act like they don't matter, but yet we moan anyway and act like they do matter. I know I'm a victim of this too. I'm going to try and be less cynical about it this year. Ultimately, it is an award show. Just like any award show, you can agree, disagree. It's all subjective. It's all quite political as well. A lot of the categories do become more and more political as the years go by, it seems. But, you know, there's good and bad things to come from these things. I'm just going to reel off my thoughts and offer some perhaps alternatives that could have got in the categories instead, because there are a few that I'm looking at here, scratching my beard a little bit. But regardless, if you're happy with these nominations, that's great. If you're not, that's also great. But just remember, it is an award show. I did watch the live stream as well to see the nominations get revealed live. It was incredibly awkward and there were technical issues going off constantly. It wasn't too good, to be honest, and some of the speakers sounded like they were in the middle of a flu because their voices were just incredibly scratchy and croaky. It was a bit of a mess, but they did try and make a point near the beginning where the one of the hosts was like, "That's a lot of women being nominated," so you can tell that they've tried to, you know, target women for some of the categories this year, which you can't really moan about. It's not really something that you should get mad about. But at the end of the day, for me, I just want to see good music win. I want to see good music rewarded regardless of anything like that. But you can tell that that's something that they focused on this year. You'd be a fool not to recognise that. So I'm going to start with some of the lower tier categories and work my way up to some of the bigger ones. We've got R&B performance here. I was so happy to see Anderson .Paak's name get mentioned. Of course, he did get a joint win last year, which was very weird. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of the Grammys, but a joint win did get tied to Anderson .Paak's name with the song Bubbling. There's also Lizzo in this category with the Gucci Mane track that came on her album. There was a artist named Lucky Day. I was kind of happy to hear a name that I don't recognize, because that's always a good sign when award shows are attempting to shine a light on some people that you may not know. Daniel Caesar with his collaboration track with Brandy, and then her with her collaboration track with Bryson Tiller also got nominated. They do seem to really like Daniel Caesar, it seems. I think he's been nominated quite a few times over the course of the few years he's been in the public eye in the music industry. It's cool, he's alright. I think he's definitely an artist that's pretty solid. Same with her, she seems okay. I've actually not really heard much from her music, but I guess based on that, my pick is definitely Anderson .Paak. R&B album going to PJ Morton, BJ the Chicago Kid, LMA, Lucky Day, and then of course Anderson .Paak. You guys know I'll be easily rooting for Anderson .Paak here, and I think most people who are aware of Anderson .Paak's music, even if they don't love Ventura as much as maybe I do, I think they'd also be rooting for Anderson .Paak here as well. I think it'd be great to see him win this category. Dance album, electronic album category, we got Rufus Du Sol, we got Apparat, we got Chemical Brothers, we got Flume, man, and Tycho. You guys probably remember, I didn't really like that Flume album, but it's kind of cool to see Flume getting nominated here, although the winner for me is actually easily Chemical Brothers. I think that's actually a great album and it's held up really well throughout the year. It would be so good to see them get an award at this point in their career. The rock and metal categories are near embarrassing to me. I think I just don't even want to acknowledge them. I guess for rock song, I'd go with Harmony Hall. It would be cool to see Brittany Howard win that category, however, but yeah, like, it's not looking very good. Alternative album, however, we've got a pretty nice selection. We got James Blake in there, we got a Big Thief in there, we got Big Thief, Bon Iver, Vampire Weekend, Tom York. Never got around to that Tom York album actually. Maybe I should do that soon so I can have a fully fleshed opinion for this category perhaps, but I guess for now it really would have to be Big Thief. I did like James Blake's too, so I guess I could be pretty happy either way, but man, Big Thief winning a Grammy would be great to see. That'd be so good. I'm not really bothered about Vampire Weekend though. If there's a chance they'll win this one actually, but no, I don't really want to see that happen. I feel like I don't want to even acknowledge the rap categories because they are looking worse than ever. Honestly, this is a terrible field this year. For rap song, I'm rooting for nothing. I'm rooting for absolutely nothing, but I guess Shug by DaBaby wouldn't be so bad. It's a pretty good track actually, so yeah, I guess. Rap album looking nearly worse than it ever has. Unbelievable here, to be honest. Wow, Dreamville with their collaboration album YBN Corday. Tyler the Creator with Igor. Meek Mill and then 21 Savage. Now, look, man, this is really very weak. I guess Ego will be taking this one, and it probably won't be close. I think Ego's got this one in the bag, to be honest. But I just disagree with that from the get go. To be honest, I think that's just wrong to place this in the rap field. Tyler on the album was mostly singing, and most of the tracks didn't really have rap elements to them whatsoever. Maybe a couple here and there, but this is not a rap album. It shouldn't win this category. It shouldn't win. Like, I think it just shouldn't be here. It shouldn't win. It should be probably in the R&B categories, I guess. If you were to place it anywhere, it would have to be there. Or maybe alternative album, I suppose. Or even an album of the year mention, actually. Maybe it would have been okay in that category for the entire album of the year altogether. But, like, it's just not a rap album. I still think it's pretty solid overall, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I think out of this entire selection, which is incredibly weak, 21 Savage deserves it the most, which was actually a pretty good album overall. I still think there are some really good songs on there, and it actually fits the criteria of being a rap album, so there's that too, which I guess is the main point of this rap category. So yeah, the rap category, one of the worst I can think of in recent memory, because even last year they were able to recognize, Pusha T at least. Why couldn't they have at least recognized Freddie Gibbs and Madlib this year? It's one of the most beloved rap albums of the year. I didn't like it that much, as you guys remember. I just think it deserves its place way more than any of the other ones here. Look, I guess I could list off personal favourites of the year for me, like that maybe wouldn't be on many other people's lists. Injury Reserve, Little Brother. But I think they're even way better than anything that's on this list anyway, so of course I'm still going to root for those ones, because they're just actually really quite good. And it's a shame we didn't see Earl get anything either, not even one nomination anywhere, because he dropped very late last year, and he would be eligible for this year's Grammys, as it always works. I think the cutoff date's like October, November or something like that. So even any other rap albums you can think of that came out late last year probably could have got on this category as well over YBN Corday. Like, come on. Anyway, moving on, we got the pop vocal performance album, best vocal pop album. I've completely butchered that name, what the fuck. Usual suspects, we got Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Ed Sheeran, Ariana Grande, and of course the newcomer to the pop music world, Billie Eilish, who I do think deserves her place actually. I did think that album was pretty good. Vocally though, it wasn't the best aspect of it. In fact, Billie's vocals at times really could do with way more personality than she's offering, so I don't think this should even be in this category, even though I think Billie Eilish this year is going to really sweep most of the awards that she's in. Or Ariana might even win this one, to be fair. It's a toss-up between those two, I think. I'd probably root for Taylor Swift, because at least with as mediocre as most of Lover is, you do have those high points where Taylor is really shining vocally on the title track, for example, on that random country song that she threw in there too. I guess Taylor would probably be my choice if I had to. Best solo pop performance, the same people, just replace Ed Sheeran with Lizzo, and you've got these track Truth Hurts, which has been huge this year. Of course, Lizzo is getting a lot of mentions in this awards ceremony too. She's going to take away a lot of awards here, clearly. They picked You Need to Calm Down for Taylor. I do not know why they picked that one. No, that is not the best song on that album, nowhere near. They picked Seven Rings for Ariana Grande. Again, just not close to being the best song on that album. It's not a particularly good category, this one, just purely based on the songs they picked as opposed to the artists who were there. But I think I would go for Billie Eilish on this one with Bad Guy. Yeah, Bad Guy is a cool performance. I think her vocals fit that beat really well. Just not every track on the album worked in the same way, I don't think. Really cool to see Rosalia in the Best New Artist category. That is really, really great to see. You know, it's not going to go to her though. It always goes to an artist that's been around for a few years randomly, and then they get recognized really late, so just by that alone it's gonna go to Lizzo, if not Billie Eilish, but I think Lizzo is taking this one. Song of the Year has some decent picks. I actually picked the good Taylor Swift song here. I'm actually rooting for this the most on the list, to be honest. I do still think Lover is a great track, but again, will it go to that one? I don't know. They've kind of fallen off Taylor over the past few years. She doesn't really win as many Grammys as she used to. This could easily go to Lewis Capaldi, which would be just a travesty. Wouldn't mind it going to Lana Del Rey, to be honest, actually. Wouldn't mind it going to Billie Eilish. So yeah, I've got a few picks here that I would be fine with. But, you know, I can't really quite... I can't work out which one will win this one, really. It could go either way. Record of the Year is another one as well I can't quite work out. This is usually like the big song that wins. So based purely on that, it should probably be Lil Nas X with Old Town Road, which I'd actually be pretty happy to see win. But it could also be Seven Rings. It could also be Sunflower with Post Malone and Sway Lee. Could easily be any of those, because that's usually the Record of the Year where that, like, the big songs get the win for that one, and they have been huge songs. We see Billie Eilish and Lizzo once again with the exact same song that's been featured on pretty much every category now. Now that I've been looking through. We also have Bon Iver with Hey Ma, which is a really random pick. I don't think that'll win, but that's actually kind of cool to see that song there, because I do think that was the best on the album as well. And really random that Bon Iver's gotten some recognition this year. I'm finding it quite surprising, because he's right there in the Album of the Year category as well, which is mad. It's mad. He's right up there with friggin' Lizzo. We got Billie Eilish. We got friggin' Vampire Weekend 2, Lana Del Rey 2, Her, and the EP that Lil Nas X dropped, getting an Album of the Year nomination. That's a random one to get there, because God, I didn't think people actually cared about that when it came out. Like, yeah, I just can't believe this is here. It's so weird. And I know a lot of people will actually be very happy with some of these picks. I know so many people loved the Lizzo album, the Billie Eilish album, the Lana Del Rey album probably being the critics' choice, I think. I think people loved that most out of this entire field here. The Lizzo one probably being the more popular choice, as well as Billie Eilish too. Could be either of those. I think Billie's probably taking this. I don't know, I'm looking at this category and I think I'm just kind of struggling with it, because I don't really love anything here. You guys may remember my reviews, like I haven't really given any of these albums a huge positive score or anything like that. I guess the most album, like the one I'd root for the most, would probably be Lana Del Rey here. But yeah, I think it's going to be Billie Eilish. It's a shame, because you probably could have thrown in Igor here somewhere. I don't know, like, it probably could have replaced Vampire Weekend, to be honest. You probably could have replaced Lil Nas X with something that could have been great. I actually was wondering if Wise Blood would get some recognition. I thought that would be like a really, really popular critics' choice and a Grammy choice. I just would have thought that would have been something that'd get something somewhere, but I guess I'm struggling to predict the Grammys each year, and I think it does depend on if you submit your album and stuff like that, and even if you do submit it, will it get recognized? Because if it's not heard by enough people, you know how the Grammys can be, they're very much all about the popular stuff. It is just how it is. It's a shame. I think you do have to take it with a pinch of salt sometimes. There were some really cool wins last year, there might be some really cool wins this year. I guess we just have to see. But yeah, I think there's quite a few snubs here and there. Would have been good to see some better rap albums get nominated. Maybe some better rock albums, you know, Black Midi would have been pretty cool, I guess. Not that they'd ever get nominated. Pretty much just a mixed bag, I think, overall. I think quite a few people look at the Album of the Year, though, and be fairly happy with what they've got there. I think there are some pretty solid picks, probably better than what we got last year overall. So, you know, you can't complain too much. Thank you for watching my video anyway. Hopefully you got something out of this. Let me know your thoughts on this year's Grammys. Have a good day. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Goodbye.